Doctor, welcome to this session. On behalf of Morad's Residency, I invite you to give us a brief description about all you need to know about COVID in this situation.
Hello everyone, I am Dr. Bharat Agarwal here, consultant physician from Apollo Hospitals, Navi Mumbai.
So, Doctor, their first question is, as the coronavirus pandemic is growing in our country, it is causing widespread concern regarding uncertainty about life, fear and death. How to cope up with this situation?
Yes, uncertainties about life is always certain. There's nothing new. Earlier you would have uncertainties about certain other things, finance, profession, studies, illness. Coronavirus is another illness, like any other illness. Only thing is it is spreading too fast. But we don't need to panic about it. We take our precautions which has been advocated right from the beginning of the last couple of months. Maintain your distance, hand wash, keep a very sane mind, keep calm. Don't panic, don't read news or WhatsApp messages which are not from authentic agencies. Don't spread false news or forward your messages which you have not been able to verify. Engage yourselves in other activities and that should help you out cope with this. It is a contagious disease, but if you go by world over statistics, it is not a fatal disease. Most of the young and not so young people are doing very well and recovering from it completely.
So, some people have already socially isolated themselves in fear of being infected with COVID-19. They are experiencing loneliness, which can worsen mental health. How to care of themselves?
So again, keeping in charge or keeping stock of your mental health is as good as taking care of your physical health. Most of us do take care of our physical health very well. We exercise, we eat well, we sleep well, we keep our screen times low. Mental health is again a good part of your health. So you need to engage that also. So don't keep an idle mind. Engage that. Either you read, you listen to music, you watch something, keep yourself occupied with some household work, play with the kids, look after your elderlies in the house, talk to them, maybe you can listen to stories from them for a change. And engage yourself, play games.
So, Doctor, senior citizens are more scared and stressed. This may have huge impact on their health. What should the family members do to support them?
Yeah, so again, the senior citizens are the ones who are really scared because there's fear for their life and they usually have, or most of them do have some underlying comorbid condition which also needs to be taken care of, even through the pandemic. So make sure they undergo their routine checks. They are reassured that everything else is good by their checks. Get them in touch with their regular physician, maybe online or over a video call, so that they are reassured. Spend time with them. Engage them in your day-to-day activities at home. If you are in the lockdown, engage them in your household work wherever you could, so that they are also occupied and not left idle. And discuss with them what's all going on outside the house and inside the house. So you have to keep them engaged, that's the idea, so that they don't feel isolated and fearful. If they are having a lot of mental troubles, getting trouble in sleeping, anxiety attacks, or feeling depressed, then the best thing would be to consult a psychiatrist so that they can be put on medications. And you need not take them for a physical consult. Sometimes even with a psychiatrist, an online consult should do the job for you in the initial phase.
Doctor, even children are becoming restless due to this lockdown. How to take care of that?
Again, the answer here is nearly the same as the others. You have to engage them. Keep them occupied, play with them. You cannot be watching your phone and they're watching their phone. So I think idea is play with them. Online classes have started, engage them in some classes. Let them talk to their friends over the phone at least, so that they at least have some kind of comradeship, some kind of a peer interaction if they're not able to physically meet them or play with them.
So, Doctor, very interesting question. Those who are coming back from quarantine centers are treated as outcast by the people. So, how do we control their emotional reactions, or how do we change our approach towards them as our mind is suppressing our heart?
Correct. So here again, I think the problem is not in the person coming back from quarantine. The problem is with the rest of the people around him or her. So it's a mental framework. You need to educate yourself well. That's why I said earlier also. Read about it from authentic sources and not forwarded WhatsApp messages. If you get your information from WHO sites or the Indian government sites, you will get to know that once patients who have been quarantined and have returned home are not likely to spread the disease. So you don't need to outcast them at all. And you cannot blame them for getting the disease either.
So, is there any way a person can get contaminated through currency notes? How can one maintain proper hygiene post handling of notes?
Correct. So again, we've been hearing this over the last couple of months. Whether any surfaces can transmit the disease, there is no clear-cut evidence that currency notes in isolation would be able to transmit the disease. For once, as an Indian population, specifically here, we have some of us have the habit of wetting our thumbs or fingers with saliva and then trying to count the notes. Please stop that habit completely. Other thing is, if somebody has given you notes, I think you can just take them, keep them in your pocket, hand wash, and leave those notes there for some time. Maybe after 6 to 8 hours, you can reuse them. Probably the virus does not survive that long on the notes. You don't need to iron or wash the notes, please.
Again, an interesting question. How can people like us who are living in red zone protect themselves, as we don't know who is infected or not? If unknowingly we come close and contact with someone with COVID-19, then what should we do?
Alright. Again, I think we have to follow the dictum which has been there all over the place. The 3 things. Even if you're in a red zone, maintain your distances, wear a mask all the times, and hand wash. ये 3 चीजें हैं जो आपको बहुत आगे तक लेके जाएंगी. In case you feel that you have come in contact with a positive person, please wait for that person to report positive. Don't jump the gun. If you have been in close contact, now when you define close contact, it has to be usually a 15 minutes meet, at least in a less than 2 feet proximity distance, to say that you have had a close contact. If you think you've had a close contact, then the best thing would be to isolate yourself at home. Watch for your symptoms. If you do develop a fever, cough, a severe body ache, headache, then consult your physician.
We come to the last question. How safe it would be to use public transport when the lockdown is lifted? Any added precautions to be taken by the passengers?
The 3 same restrictions: maintain the distance, hand wash before getting in and getting off, and after getting off, and wear a mask. Everybody in the public transport should be wearing a mask. We saw some videos online, I don't know how authentic they were because I have not verified them. That as soon as the buses were open, you saw a huge rush of people trying to enter the bus at the same time. Maintain some discipline, follow a queue, and this has to be educated all over. It's not one person who forms the queue. The entire people standing there should enter the bus in a queue and exit in a queue. How long does it take? It probably take you 3 minutes extra, that's all. So if you maintain the queue, maintain the distance, it should not be a problem. But if everybody tries to get in at the same time and get off at the same time, it doesn't solve any purpose. Whether it's a bus or whether it's an aircraft.
Thank you, Doctor, for joining this session and enlightening us.
Thank you.